All right, guys, it is time for the Ericaism of the day. I read a definition of a phrase called tipping point. The point at which a series of small changes or incidents become significant enough to cause a large, more important, one definition says, significant, unstoppable effect of change in your life. Doesn't that sound awesome? Like a series of small events that leads to great events. That's how I felt about my life when I was starting over. As an artist, starting over as a new artist, being Erica Campbell after having been being married successfully, quite frankly, and having to move to something new that was unproven, that was not necessarily greatly supported, and having to do it anyway, and knowing that how I handled that would lead to more, was just, it's an amazing message and growth point and period in my life when I realized how I looked at this new phase and this newness in my life would determine the success of the next steps in my life. So I couldn't come with ego or arrogance or trying to remind somebody that I was worthy of the same that Mary had. I had to earn it. And so, what a lot of you may or may not know, I was offered an opportunity to perform at the Stellar Awards. And I had won a bunch of them, probably by 20 by that time. And I had hosted twice, but when I wanted to perform a little more Jesus for the first time, they said I had 1:34. And that was fine. I had to sing with three other ladies, and it was a collaborative performance, but I treated that 1:34 like it was everything. I had a choreographer for 1:34. I had a lighting person to come and check my lighting to make sure it was what I wanted to be for 1:34. I could have got mad. I could have said, no, I'm Erica Campbell from Mary, and blah, 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 blah. I didn't do any of that. I showed up at rehearsal one time. I was as nice to everybody as I possibly could. I made sure that I did what I was supposed to do. And I sang like I was losing my mind, like it was the last time. Like I was never going to get invited back. I sang as best I could with everything in my soul, trying to pour out from my heart, not from my anger or my entitlement. And I realized that that was a tipping point in my life because it was how I looked at something that could have been deemed insignificant. Now, if it was my first time ever, then of course you'd be happy for 1:34. But if you spent time on television and you feel like you should, by right, get an opportunity, then you have a bad attitude. But I didn't. At all. My husband said, do it or don't. Don't have a bad attitude. They don't know you as Erica Campbell. They didn't know. I hadn't sold anything. They didn't know what I would do by myself. And so they told me that. And I decided to not be offended by it. And I decided to work hard and push. And yes, my money got lower at first when I became Erica Campbell and you start doing solo stuff. And it was always like, well, if we can't get married, I guess I'll take her. It was that over and over again. And I still had to be there and be on time and be kind and be excellent and be grateful. And it was a tipping point in my life because I changed the way I saw myself. I did not allow myself to be moved and swayed by their words, whether they were important or just trying to figure it out. Because everybody's not a hater. They just don't know. And they didn't know yet. But they know now. Thank you, Jesus. It was a tipping point in my life. A tipping point is coming for you. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want to say. A tipping point is coming. So make sure you are working towards this change, this transformation, this unstoppable, significant, effective change in your life. Doesn't that sound great? I love it. That's my Ericaism for the day.